All right, welcome everyone. See people trickling in uh, this week or month, rather. We're going to talk about Project Explorer, and Jason Schmidt has decided he will gladly give up that information to everybody. So, Jason, take it away.
Thanks, Adam. Hey, everyone. So yeah, so Project Explorer has been on our list of uh, kind of items that we wanted to kind of cover. The person that we wanted to do this presentation unfortunately couldn't, so I'm gonna give it a go. It is going to be pretty high level, I will say. It's more of an introduction and what it can do, and we're going to look at the interface a little bit, how to install stuff like that. There is a lot to this tool, um, and we could spend hours, for example, just on like reporting. So we're probably not going to jump into a lot of that today. I am going to have a small little PowerPoint here for a few minutes. Nothing too extreme, so don't worry. But again, welcome to our monthly meeting, and we're going to talk about Project Explorer for Civil 3D. And let's me get some things set here real quick. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes? All right. So first thing I want everyone to know is if you have questions, go ahead and interrupt and then ask. And if you have insight and you use Project Explorer and you see something that maybe we should touch on, interrupt me. It's okay. I've kind of delved into this pretty heavily in the last few weeks. And so I'm still learning it. By no means am I an expert with it. What we're going to cover today is what is Project Explorer, how to get it installed, accessing, opening Project Explorer. We're going to walk through the interface, and then we're going to look at what it can be used for, because there are some interesting things. So I'll let you all read what Project Explorer is. My little blurb in the little cloud there is basically what it is. It gives you access to a lot of cool data related to design elements within Civil 3D. The interface, you're able to access alignments, corridors, pipe networks, assemblies, point groups, surfaces, feature lines, parcels, sample line groups, blocks, and then you can create object sets from all of these other objects and do like automated reporting on them. So it's a pretty powerful tool. In addition, it does reporting. It's a style-driven product, so there's tons of styles, tons of customization that can be done to it. There's lots of tooltips, warnings, I guess, is what that comes direct from the Autodesk website, and they are warnings, but it's more informational. I would consider it. And then there's tools for reviewing and editing pipe networks and some of the other objects. First thing we're going to look at is installation, and I'm going to pop over to another screen here. So I'm sure there's multiple ways to do this. I know you can do a custom install of it. I know you can download it and make a deployment. I'm just going to walk you through an individual user. If you're a subscription-based user and you have access to your account, you can go to your products and services. You can go in here to your whatever you have access to, click on view all included items, and then you can get to it. You can scroll down through here and it'll show as Civil 3D Project Explorer. When you click on this, it'll give you the option of which download you want. And then from there, you can do you can install it on the fly, or you can download it and install it. Once you have it installed, you want to make sure Civil 3D is closed. Go ahead and do the installation. And then from there, you can, fire off, restart Civil 3D, and then be able to access it. So how do you access it? Once it's installed, you'll be able to go to the add-ins tab, and you should see this Launch Project Explorer, again, right here. And then that'll bring it up. The rest of this is going to be live. We're going to do it on the screen. There are some links here to get to kind of the overview, the release notes. There are a lot of keyboard shortcuts. I'm not going to go into a lot of those today because I'm still learning them myself. But there's a pretty good document here. And there's some other presentations that I'm sure some of you have seen that go into a little bit more depth on those. So with that, let me click over here, and we're going to start with, I guess we can start with streets. So y'all can see my screen still? Just want to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to go over here to add-ins, and we're going to say Launch Project Explorer. And just a little note, all this data that I'm using was provided to me by a friend. Thank you for that data, friend. I had a lot more in-depth project data than I currently had access to. So this is a project that they've been working on. So once you open up Project Explorer, I'm going to expand this so we can see the whole thing. So the interface is fairly straightforward. Along the top here, you're going to see alignments. These are all the different objects that you have access to get information from. So we're in a street drawing. So we have access to alignments, corridors, assemblies, corridors. There are some point groups in here. It looks like it's just the standard all point one. You have access to the surfaces that are in here. Feature lines, parcels, pipe networks, sample line groups if you have them, blocks that are within here, and then this is that object set that I mentioned. And we'll talk a little bit about this, but basically what it allows you to do is create sets of objects. Like on an alignment, you can add different components to this object set, and then you can report on it and send it out to a PDF or an HTML or something in your project directory. And as you're updating components within your design, it actually is updating that data behind the scene. So it's pretty cool. So you can have live reporting basically going on behind the scenes. So just again, this top area here gives you a vertical view of the object. You can move the interface around. You can make that view bigger. You can slide things around. There is this button over here gives you the ability to modify the layout, so we can change. We can have different views of different things. We can stack them. We can do side by side. It's basically customization items. So now when we're looking on this alignment tab, you actually can create alignments from within here. You can create a profile from within here. You can show, hide different layouts. So for example, this layout right here is now being shown on the screen. And this is the existing ground profile for that alignment. It shows you the profile. It shows you it shades it to tell you which one you're looking at. Over here on the right, these are all of the stations along that alignment that make up that profile. This is the finished ground profile for that alignment. And again, you can look over here on the right, you can see all the different data. And as you can see, there's a lot of data that you can add and configure to be in here. You can look at the curves. It's basically giving you one pane to look at all this data that we're used to seeing through, within Civil 3D. Now, if we minimize this down a bit, and this is my computer having this issue, so give me just a second. Painful, I know. So we can look at this one and we can zoom to that alignment here. That way we can see it. So this is the alignment here. And then in this view, we can get it back. So again, here we can see this, that's this alignment. Now we can go look at, these are returns. Let's look at a main. So this is a bigger alignment we can see. And again, we can look at the existing ground. We can see the right and left. Gives you all the information. Lots and lots of information in here. Now, the next tab up here, we can look at the assemblies. So we can actually start to look at, for example, we can look at the full section assembly. We can edit the different components of it. So you can edit directly from here. So we're able to go in here and pick this, and we can actually come in here and we could edit this width, and it will update. The corridor will rerun, which is going to jack everything up, but that's okay. But you can see now we have that one set to that different, and it updated everything. I'm going to go ahead and put it back. And we can look at what regions this particular assembly is associated with. What else can you do in here? There's all kinds of different things you can do in here. Again, lots and lots of information that it gives us. From here, we can go to the corridor, so we can actually look at the corridor. And we can start to look at each baseline. You can go through these. And again, we're looking at where this one starts, ends. We can see where they pick up. You can adjust your design while you're in here, which is kind of, it's pretty cool. It's actually a lot quicker too. Doing this from a single screen is a little difficult. You are able to do a lot more when you're have this split into two screens. And you can walk along, looking at your plan view and then working from in here. You can pull in and look at the all of your feature lines that you create from your corridor, or that are created from the corridor. Again, there's just a lot of different things. I have not done create a corridor from within here, so but you do have that ability. So you can add a corridor, you can add regions while you're in here. I have not attempted to do that at this point. We can come in here and look at the surfaces. And for example, on the surface, as you're working with these different components from within here, right click will get you to additional either options that you have or to do run the reports. One thing to keep in mind with the reporting, and again, I'm not going to get too deep in the reporting because we could spend hours just on how to stylize a report, but you can go out to a file, you can put it to a table. So like on a cut fill where you're used to doing that from within Civil 3D and making a table, you can do that from here, or you can do it to its own drawing file. You can set different things in here, a lot of naming. So I know, I'm a big purveyor of wanting everything to be named and what it is and everything. And I've struggled with that over the years of I do it while I'm creating my design. A lot of people don't. And, I've heard, oh, it's difficult to go back and rename and, having access. From in here, it's real easy to rename things and put descriptions on things. And it really gives you a tool to put a lot more information to your design and document your design. Real quick, if we want to look at a report, so we can right click and do a cut fill report. You can give it a name. You have a lot of different options of outputs. PDF, and again, this is a generic out of the box. I have not edited the report style or anything. So it tends to be not always be a very good report, but I will run one and show you what it looks like. Possibly. Does anyone have any questions so far?
No, it's looking good.
All right, cool. That report will finish up here in a second. I don't see it popping up yet. Moving along the top again. It's not going to hold on just a second. Technical difficulties. Give me just 1 second, guys. It's not responding. And it went away.
Oh, the quirks of live presentations.
I'm like, I walked through this and I didn't have an issue. No, I didn't take the I've been having some issues when I'm doing live with Zoom for some reason. Not exactly sure why as of late, but anyhow, back while I'm pulling this back up, one of the access to Kogo points in here is pretty cool. It gives you some access to a lot of different things. You can see all the points. You can it makes managing points a little bit easier because you're looking at everything. I'm going to pull up this piping drawing so we can look at this. But this is a sewer system that we're going to go ahead and look at next. So I'm going to go back here to add-ins, go back to Launch Project Explorer. And we'll come over here. Again, we're going to see the alignments that we have access to. And you can, click on them, see them like we talked about. Here's the pipe network, so we can see here, we can look at the proposed sewer. And then up here on the, just underneath the tabs, you can set which ones you want to look at. So right now we're going from existing to A1. And if I click A2, now we can see A2 to existing. We can see A3 to existing, or, the third manhole in line. We can see the fourth manhole in line. So you can adjust the different pieces that you're looking at. And then down here, as you highlight them, so if we click on here, we'll see, what we're looking at. We can click on, there's A3, A4, manhole A1. You can double click on the manhole, and, again, you have the ability to edit the names, rename them. If you go to structure, right click in structure properties, it's going to pull up the, structure properties. If we go to the structure here, if we adjust our view, we can start to look at all the different pieces here. So again, this is a lot of the data that, we may be looking at from the panorama typically, but it gives you the ability to see it all right here and edit it from within here. So this, for example, we have A1 manhole and the existing downstream manhole. We could come in here, turn off the auto surface, and we could adjust the rim if we wanted to. If we want to look at that pipe, so I click on the pipe, it highlights it here. If we wanted to change the slope, we could change the slope here. If you double click on that area, it gives you the ability to hold a start, hold an end, hold a pipe slope. You can set the elevations. It gives you a bunch of different options here. So this is doing a single pipe. You have the ability to select multiple pipes. So we could select these pipes, and we could do, where's it at? Edit pipe run up here above. And now we can set all those pipes to be a particular slope. And again, different options, what you want to hold, what you want to start with. So in this case, we would start with the, the first one downstream, and then we could set our slope here, or upstream, excuse me, whichever, and hit OK, and it'll change all those pipes. I say that it changes all those pipes. It's giving me an error. But yeah, so again, let's do a single one. So it set it based on cover, and this goes back to those warnings. It's not letting me because of cover. So either the maximum pipe cover in this case, it's telling me. Anywhere where you see these errors, I don't know what they call them. They have a name for them, but it's basically an alert. And it lets you look at, it gives you feedback as to what the alert's based on. So depending on what your rules are and what they're set to, let me zoom out here so we can see a couple of these so we can actually show you. So you can see it changed all these. If we wanted to change that pipe and do so I'm doing pipe elevation change. I apologize, guys. This is what I want to change here. If I was reading my stuff correctly. So if I change the slope here in the pipe slope, that's where it's going to change. So it's going to hold the start and change that part, and it's still not doing it. Yeah, I'm not sure what it's doing. This worked last night. I don't know why it's not doing it now. But you get the idea. You do have access to this data and you are able to edit. And then let's see, let's try doing a report from here. We'll go back and do a structure. So we can do a quick report structure list from here. And we'll just do, instead of doing a PDF, let's try an HTML this time and see. And again, I'm not going to format it. I'm just going to use the default. And this is the default report. So the HTML one's not too bad. This is kind of going to be like when you run the pipe reports from within Civil 3D, it's going to be a lot of the same. Now, you have the ability to customize all of this. So you can take pieces out, add pieces. There's a lot of different things you can do here. If we go back here, then let's see, what else can we do from here? Here's the pipe run when going from, this is not right. I wonder if I might have messed this up last night when I was playing with it. I apologize. Go back here to, watch, go back to Civil 3D and fix it there. Anyhow, there's, again, it's all of the data in here that you have access to. That's the big, the powerful part of this. Now, the points, I wanted to go see if I have a drawing with points in it to show you. This one doesn't have the points in it either. This gives you the access to the points. So once you have your point groups in here, this gives you access to all those COGO points, and you can do quick changes in here, and they're a lot faster. I've seen them to be a lot faster than using the panorama within Civil 3D or using the points, the points list from within there. So that's been a real. Let's see if I can. See if I can open one up that has. Give me 1 second here and let me find a drawing. Is everyone still with me, or have I bored you out of your minds yet?
No, we're still here.
Yep, still watching.
Right. Can you see my screen back now?
Not yet.
Oh, you can see my screen. You can see my screen again.
Yep.
There you are.
All right. So this is a drawing that has a lot of point groups, and we'll just go in here. So we can come in here real quickly and edit these. So we can come in here and then if we go over here, we can see, again, you can see all of the different, just like you'd have from within the panorama. But again, I want to get over here. We can set the point label style from here very quickly. And those will all update in the gives you access to different things here. What else? You can add filters from here. You can create new point groups from here. When you go here, we can do some reporting on these, and we have access to the properties, of course, from here, like you do from Civil 3D. It's just another interface. It's giving you everything from within here, which I found to be, it was easier for me to do some changing in here, especially when you're dealing with large numbers. And these are not the best examples, but it's what I had. So as far as the interface, I'm trying to think if I've missed anything. Down here is where you can, you have some preferences on all kinds of things. And this is where you start getting into what do you want to show? What do you not want to show? How do you want it to look? You can come in here to the profile views. And when you, so this is when you're clicking on like an alignment and it's showing you the profile. These are the different things that you can adjust. What it shades, what it shows you so that you can, see the differences. You can change your grid, your vertical exaggeration. And then, now I haven't done it, but I believe you can create, so you can save a preference file. So you can save these styles out. So that if you want to do like a standardized style for specific things, that way users are seeing the same thing. And again, this is just for each of those objects, what you can see and what you can't. Here's where the reporting, so we can control, some of the default locations. This is all styles driven. So as you start to go into these, you can start to edit what those styles look like. And you can kind of go down a rabbit hole. And again, I've only started delving into that part of it. And then here, this is the layout options. So these are the different pieces that you can see and that you'll see based on your different views. And again, it's based on each of the object types. So you can do it, how it's going to look for your alignments, assemblies, corridors, etc. So right now, everything is based off of these objects. So this is the data that you have access to currently today. That's about it. Again, this was kind of the high level picture. I didn't want to go too deep because I didn't want to go down a path of being able to not show you guys something. So from that standpoint, just more to see the interface and everything. Anybody have any questions or input at this time? Has anybody used this more so?
I've used it a couple of times for editing pipe network stuff. It's been pretty helpful, really fast. Basically just setting slopes and elevations across long spans. Super helpful. The only issue I've had so far was where when you do that, the structure doesn't update properly and you have to go back and just update the structures as well.
Yes.
But it's just a small step that you have to be wary of.
And you're doing that back over and on civil side, right?
For the structures, manually, yes, because I didn't see a way to just make a change to them in Project Explorer. But there could possibly be a way, and I just didn't see it.
Yeah, here, let me swap over here to the sewer drawing. And go to the pipe networks. I want to see why this isn't working. I was able to all right, so pull this back up over here. So here we have manhole 1, and it looks like it's disconnected from there, or it hasn't updated. And again, this is not my data, guys, so I'm a little bit flying blind here. I think I must have saved over this last night because I had this all working and these warnings gone. But yeah, I mean, you have the ability to come in here and you define a run by either picking, and again, you can do it individually or you can do it by multiples. And in this case, we would want to hold this start and the slope should be going down, but for some reason it looks like it's going the opposite direction. But and really the only ones I have ever utilized are the slope. I mean, that's typically how I'm designing, is by slope, not by elevation change or anything. But trying to think if there's anything. This is giving you information on this structure. So this is the structure. It's the end structure, and then the pipe length, and it's the 2D length and the 3D length that it's showing you here. That's one other thing I didn't cover earlier. But yeah, that's kind of the basics. I'm sorry that this isn't working. Let's go look at, maybe if we go to a different one here, let's look at this one. We'll go to C1 to C2. Let's look at the structure. So there's structure C1, there's structure C2. And if we want to do, there's the pipe. And if we want to edit this, so that slope right now is from my start one is 1.18, or negative if you're going the other direction. So let's just change it to 1. So now we have it updated, and we've got the updated elevations for that. If we wanted to change it, hold the end again. Well, we could change it, hold the start, and do now we've got it there. So this is the start manhole. Are these, and this is something that I don't know about, but I noticed, I'm wondering if it's the way the view is. This should be the end structure. This alignment looks like it's backwards. Is that what it looks like to you, Adam? I think that's why I'm having issues, because I think this alignment's backwards. And again, this isn't my data, so that might be what I'm just looking at this backwards compared to what I'm used to seeing. But you can see it makes the updates, it makes the changes, all the data updates. It gives you that ability to quickly, update between these structures. And again, we can update that structure too. And this is the part you're saying you weren't able to update?
Well, not very easily, but I also didn't really delve far into it. So when I would run the pipe slopes, I would just set them, and then, oh, all my structures are still floating where they used to be.
Yeah. And what I've had to do is turn off the auto and flip it back and forth, and it seems to update then. I don't know if that's, you were saying you just go back over onto the application side and update them there? Yeah. Any other questions? I know that was kind of not the best, but at least it gives you everyone a kind of a high level view, gives you an idea of what, I think the big thing to take away is the data that you have access to. I know when I first started looking at this, my understanding was that it was just alignments and corridors and pipes. So I was pleasantly surprised when I got in here the first time, and the ability to see some of this other data. And the two areas that I've been the most in have been the pipe and the pipe and surface, and then those point stuff. I've used it multiple times for points when I'm doing big edits to a lot of different points. So that's been, handy for me. And again, just really starting to scratch the surface.
Yeah, and this Raphael, one of the things that I was really curious about, I haven't had a chance to dig into it myself, but I was trying to get our survey department interested in it because I saw that, you could, edit in bulk all the points and point data. And I thought that would be really handy for them. And then the other thing I was curious about, and now that I think about it, it's like, well, maybe it won't quite do this, but I was hoping that maybe with the reports, so a lot of times we'll do maybe something with the county or a text dot project that follows text dot styling, and they like to do their quantity reports based on a per sheet basis, right?
Yep.
So I was hoping that maybe the reporting would allow me to do some sort of station range reporting. So say from station 1+00 to 5, give me the lineal feet of pipe, give me the manholes, and et cetera. But now that I think about it, I bet it doesn't break a pipe, length down. If my pipe spans 2 sheets, I don't think it's going to tell me, how much pipe is on just that one page.
No, it's probably not going to do that because it's just going to report on the object.
Right,
But
right.
if you're going the route of by page, you could do an object set to store a lot of objects and report on just that set. But then you'd have a object set per page if you're doing all your data in a file and you have multiple sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's going to report on the objects. So I think we're still in that area, that issue of how do we get it to see from station to station, not the full object. I mean, and that's always been an issue. We've all struggled with that.
Yeah. A lot of times I have to put a null object at the page break.
Yeah, you got to break them, and then I don't like to do that, but if you have to do a lot of the public work and the DOT work, they still are going down that road where they want it sheet by sheet, which is a whole nother conversation. But yeah, this is definitely just doing you can do ranges, but it's reporting on the object. So it's the full object. So if that object isn't broken, now if you have nulls in there, you may be able to do it. I haven't dug in that far yet though, Raph.
Yeah.
I know you can do specific, so you can add specific items. So one of the things that's what these object sets are for. So like I can come in here and pick these, and I can add these to, can I do it from here? So I can create a new object set and bring just this item. So this can just be, and I'm just creating in defaults right now, but that object set now has that proposed sewer in it. Now I could bring the streets in to this. I don't know how granular you can go. And by doing what I just did, I thought you could go a little bit more granular, but it doesn't look like you can. But basically what it enables you to do is bring multiple pieces together. So, and now I'm thinking of something else. I wonder if this, and then I haven't tested it. But it allows you to bring multiple pieces together. So the alignments, the network, points, surfaces, I can add to this object set. And then this object set, I can run the report after I've, done it. I can run the actions that I want it to do. So report on that, and it'll actually update a file outside. So for getting quantities for certain things, it would come in handy. And as you're updating your files, it would update these, and you'd be able to quickly update those reports without having to just keep recreating them. So from that standpoint, it would be cool, but I don't know the granularity that you can go to yet with it.
Well, let's try something out. If you go back to that object set and just hit the plus button right there. So where's your dialog box? There we go.
Yeah, so see, now I can bring in alignments because they're in here, or I could bring in surfaces. So if I wanted the surface in there.
Well, go over to your pipe networks as well. Yeah, okay, so we can only do the whole network.
The whole network. Yeah. You know, it does let me choose the individual alignments. So if we just wanted, let's say C, and what did I pick? I picked the finish grade, so I can hit that. So now it'll add those to this. And then where's my other? Well, here, I did one last night. Let me pull it up. And again, this is not, the reports are ugly because I haven't done any customization.
Well, default reports are always ugly.
Yeah. And yeah, this one's, I mean, I don't even know if I want to show you because it's so ugly. So it's broken up into multiple pages, but it's that default report again, and you can see it's not set correctly. So, but this is what it gives you. And then as you're updating, these will update, and it updates the report behind the scenes. So that part is, you know, once you have this all configured, that would be handy.
Yeah, and the other part is those reports can be put in the drawing as a table, which is semi-smart and links back to it.
Yes, and that's where when you go here, you know, whenever you right click on the different objects from within here, I think I mentioned this, but you can go to a file, or you can go to table, or a separate DWG. So you can actually put it in your drawing, or you can put it in a separate DWG file. Kind of like you do now from within Civil 3D, but yeah, the object sets, depending on how you configure all these, so like you could bring your cut fill in, and you know, from your surfaces, which isn't in this drawing, so I can't, but you know, you could bring in your cut fill surface, you could report on that, have that in you know, part of a report. It all depends on how you document your projects. And you know, what I see with this is it would give us the ability to heavily document our projects more than we have in the past. It gives you the ability to review, you know, you can print these, you know, print this alignment out and have someone review it and verify. If you've tied alignments to your pipe networks, you can, you know, verify quantities. There's a lot of different things you can do with it. It just depends on, you know, the different tools you're using. But yeah, that's about what I have for today, guys. And again, you know, this was meant to be a little bit more on that high level side. I'm still diving into reporting is kind of one of the ones I want to look at next. I want to try to get some better corridor data so that I can start to play with the corridor part. I've had to report on intersections before, and this would be handy to be able to do that. So to pull up let's see if I can pull one of these in. So to be able to pull up the intersection, this one is all separate, I believe, but so to be able to report these elevations on like the returns or the elevations on a cul-de-sac, I started to play around with that. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Apologize. That's one of the things that I want to delve into next. I do want to do an additional presentation at some point, and maybe dive into the reporting a little bit more. But I think we may do like an individual session on just the pipe networks and make sure that we have some good data. Now that we've seen the interface, you know, we can do one on actually working with the alignments. But you can see from, you know, the little bit that we did show, that I did show, you know, how quickly you can get to that data. So that's all I got for today.
Well, thanks a lot, Jason. Any questions, any closing comments from anybody else?
Nope.
Maybe just an update, if it hadn't been mentioned, that the 2022 release also supports pressure networks now, that they tapped into the API. And from 2022 moving forward, the way to access it is right through the home menu.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day. I've not dealt with it yet though, so I didn't want to show it because I haven't even looked at it yet there. Is there any other pieces that have been added, Todd, or is it just the pressure network?
I think it was just the pressure networks.
Okay, I started going through the release notes, and that was the one main thing that I had noticed. But again, I haven't gone any further, so that'll be our next one. I guess we'll start to look at 2022 with it possibly.
All right. Okay, cool. Next month we're gonna, let me find my notes again. Oh, we're maybe gonna do a little bit of a what's new in the 2022 stuff. Melanie Stone is gonna come talk to us a little bit about Augie and what she does there. And until then, we'll see y'all
Online.
Yep.
All right. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you, everyone.